As we await hopefully our first taste of Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay soon from Rockstar Games, Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar, continues to discuss their vision with this upcoming title. Interestingly, they've also been downplaying just how big of a seller this game will be and how they're nervous about all the competition coming this fall. Recently, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick spoke to GamesIndustry.biz, in which he said the following about launching Red Dead Redemption 2 up against so many big AAA games. "We're running scared too. I think a healthy degree of paranoia and insecurity about releases is probably a good thing. I'm fond of saying that arrogance is the enemy of continued success. We don't believe in our success until we deliver it. We never claim victory until it's occurred. We have the very powerful, smart, capable competitors bringing great products to market, and we need to win. That means we have to work harder than the next guy. I don't think this is a numbers exercise around attach rates. I think this is a question of how phenomenal is the product, and does it capture people's attention and imagination? The answer is clearly it's going to do well, but it's very difficult to say how well. It's going to be a big success, but it's a question of how big." Now, I would agree with Strauss Zelnick's point, except they knew what they were doing when they announced that late October release date back in February. They knew they would be competing against Call of Duty, Battlefield, probably a Bethesda Game Studios title, and a Ubisoft title. I will also say that he's right that if Red Dead Redemption 2 is phenomenal, as we all believe, it will probably sell much better. The quality of the game is going to be key to its success, and being that they've been working on this for around 8 years, this being the first current gen game from them, all the innovation we've heard about, and the reputation of great games from Rockstar, it's hard for me to believe this game will be anything but amazing. But Strauss Zelnick would continue answering a question of whether the game would be as successful as Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online, saying it's hard to expect anything to perform as well as the most profitable entertainment product of all time. I don't think that's a realistic expectation. Our hope and also belief is that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be an extraordinary creative product and that it will do incredibly well. Beyond that, I can't say. I don't think anyone can say. We have to release it and see what consumers think. I certainly do feel that Strauss Zelnick is downplaying this title a bit, which feels strange considering the many things he's said about the game for the last few years. But maybe he understands that you can't just launch a title in a popular franchise and expect automatic success. We saw that with 2K Games' Mafia 3, which was a game that had many flaws, although the one big difference is that Red Dead Redemption 2 has been in development for years, and they've delayed it a few times to hopefully perfect the game, which if Mafia 3 had been delayed about 6 months, it certainly would have been a much better game. And also there's a big difference between 2K Games and Rockstar Games. I do want to mention that. Now, I don't think most of us expect Red Dead Redemption 2 to sell 100 million copies like Grand Theft Auto 5 has. One of the reasons why that game sold so well was because of it launching on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and then being ported over to the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Like Take-Two has said, most gamers own multiple copies of that game. Red Dead Redemption sold 15 million copies, while Grand Theft Auto 4 sold around 25 million copies, which still is huge in this gaming industry. I do think if Red Dead Redemption 2 is critically acclaimed like Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto 5 and most of Rockstar Games, it will be a huge seller. My personal guess is somewhere between 20 to 40 million copies lifetime. This game is poised to be the title that innovates and pushes the open world genre forward. Many companies just release games that are open world just to capitalize on the popularity, but as we've seen in the previews that came in May for Red Dead Redemption 2, it at least seems this is an immersive experience that could change this industry and the games made in the future. Rockstar has set the bar for years, even CD Projekt Red acknowledged that, and I believe again that will happen this fall. Now, a while ago we discussed the news that Take-Two said every game they put out would feature recurrent consumer spending, which essentially means microtransactions. Zelnick was asked about the negative response that consumers have been giving to their business model, saying, "There is noise around the topic, obviously. We've had a little at our shop, not zero, but very little. And I think that's a reflection of the fact that we are so focused on delivering a great entertainment experience first and foremost, and then only monetizing after we've done that and trying to do so in a judicious way. It's tempting but facile to say, well look, if you bought it then why are you complaining? But that's not customer service. When you focus on your customer, you want them to have a great experience, including paying the bill. In a different interview, this time with Game Informer, the same subject came up, because besides Grand Theft Auto Online, NBA 2K18 was a microtransaction disaster, ruining the game for many and a big reason why the game received a lot of negative reviews and press. Zelnick would respond saying, "Unquestionably, we pay attention to our consumers' response because we're so focused on engaging and captivating and entertaining the consumer. Anytime we get feedback that is anything less than 1000% positive, we stop and say, what should we do differently? I think there's a small sliver of the consumer base that basically wants everything for free. We can't really help those people. I think most consumers just want a fair deal, and we do think that part of a fair deal is, when you get the check at the end of the meal, it's not enough that the food tasted good, it has to be a fair deal for what you got. So we're very focused on it being more than a fair deal. We want to give consumers much more than they paid for." Take-Two has pointed out that Grand Theft Auto 5 single player was key to its success. Strauss Zelnick did mention within the GamesIndustry.biz interview that recurrent consumer spending doesn't just mean microtransactions. He used Borderlands' extensive DLC as an example of that. My personal hope is that after Red Dead Redemption 2 does launch, we get something like Undead Nightmare a number of months later. We all know Red Dead Online will be huge, but Take-Two and Rockstar have made clear they still can and will do single player DLC in the right situation. I personally think just Rockstar Games fans in general were bummed they canceled the Grand Theft Auto 5 story expansion in favor of concentrating on Grand Theft Auto Online updates, and I think fans deserve some post-launch single player support for Red Dead Redemption 2, especially since most who are buying this game this fall are buying it for the single player. Now, with the microtransactions we all know will be in Red Dead Online, Rockstar and Take-Two need to tread lightly, because that really could hurt the game if it's something like the Battlefront 2 mess. Obviously, I don't think Rockstar is dumb like EA, who makes their greed blatant, but with all the competition this fall, it's important to be pro-consumer, because a little mistake like microtransactions could turn potential customers to other games like Fallout 76, Battlefield 5, Black Ops 4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Spider-Man. Not everyone will have the $60 to spend on all of these games. The average consumer probably will only buy one or two of them. So they're going to be looking for the best value and quality game, which will be important for Red Dead Redemption 2 to hit on. Anyway, that's just my opinion, but what do you make of Strauss Zelnick's comments? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and consider subscribing for much more Red Dead Redemption 2 content to come, and remember, Outlaws to the end.